have two very different business models and solve two very different problems that are pretty fascinating. For those of you who live in Arkansas, or grew up in Arkansas, and are of a certain age, the words black oak mean something to you. And particularly those of us who lived in Jonesboro in the 70s, we remember the group Black Oak, Arkansas. Jim Dandy Mangrum, and they had some success in the 70s. Well, if that's who you came here to see, you're going to be disappointed. But what you won't be disappointed about is Black Oak Partners' approach to solving one of business's biggest problems, and that is data. You know, as business people, we are swimming in data. We've got more data than we need. What Black Oak does is they help us as businesses manage that data, make intelligence out of that data. And the way that the reason they can do that is they have the smarts, they've got the relationships, and they've got the intellectual property to make it happen. So join me in welcoming not Jim Dandy Mangrum, but Nathan Gaskell with Black Oak Partners.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody can hear me okay. I am an inveterate walker arounder, so me being confined to a stage is going to be a little tough. I'm also a little bit paranoid because after having heard the worst performances, I certainly want to stay off that list, so if I'm a little jumpy at points in the presentation, please forgive me. I want to thank Arkansas Venture Forum for giving us the opportunity. I want to thank the selection committee. We do have one small housekeeping. There was a local piece in the press a couple of days ago that mentioned that Black Oak Partners is part of the UAMS BioVentures. We are, in fact, very closely associated with UALR. So I wanted to make that clarification. What we're going to talk about today is data assurance management. At the end of the presentation, I think you'll have a pretty clear idea of what that means. What we are doing is bringing together experience, relationships, and intellectual property. We bring together about 90 years worth of combined experience in our management team. We know how to do sales, we know how to do systems delivery, we know the data business. We have capital markets expertise and experience. We've got a lot of corporate experience, and we think that we can deliver on this model. What we did simply was we saw a problem and we built a solution. The theme today is going to be that data is the raw material of business processes and decisions, and we make it better. The value proposition is simple. Better data equals better decisions. Our management team that I referenced just a moment ago, Rick McGraw, a seasoned financial executive, very good at executive sales, great leader. Dr. Brian Colo has a PhD in physics and is the author of several proprietary systems. He is the brains behind our intellectual property. He's done this before. You have me, and the reason you have me today instead of Rick is that Rick and Dr. Colo and Jonathan Askins are presenting to a major financial institution in New York today. So hopefully I will not run the risk of having too technical an approach since Rick, the leader of the company, is actually doing something that I can't do. Larry Burks is our CFO and attorney. Larry Bugeaud, also a senior leader at Axiom. Kathleen Wilson, Axiom. Jonathan Askins, Axiom. Of these people, all but one have over a decade of experience at Axiom. So I think that our bona fides with respect to understanding the data business, I'd be glad to discuss that a little bit further in detail if you'd like. We also are focused on our governance as a company trying to raise money. We have outside directors. I think you guys know James Hendren, who spoke on the panel this morning, also Jerry Adams, who was in the founding group of Axiom. So we have a lot of Axiom links, and that's a good thing when it comes to understanding data. What do we do? How do we solve? What is the problem that we solve? Heavy data users contend every day with the data quality problem. Clients are increasingly asking best data available? Am I optimizing the data in the best way? And am I making better decisions because of that optimization? Bad data, faulty data, conflicting data, all increase risk and increase bad decisions. That's what we do. We remedy that. Now, go back to the front and remember that what I talked about is we improve the raw material decision making. That's what we do. We try to reduce the impact of faulty data. It's pretty simple. Poor data, limitations, lost dollars, lost profits, increased risk. The Data Warehousing Institute, the last bullet there, I think conservatively estimates that $600 billion is lost every year due to bad data, bad decisions. We remedy that. We have an opportunity to play a very significant role in that. There's a lot happening in the industry, and we think that we're at a perfect place to be able to capitalize on that. We have an unwavering belief and an unwavering commitment to do better in terms of raw material for data, raw material for decisions, raw material for business processes. Gartner and Forrester also have jumped on the bandwagon, if you will, and have committed a lot of research dollars and a lot of corroboration about the data quality problem. What we do is we drive optimal results. We do it in a new way using our intellectual property. We improve the raw material of business decisions, and we resolve a previously unaddressed concern of large-scale data management. Our pilot project that we have done, that we use with this institution that I referenced a little bit ago, we were able to drive an uplift in coverage and accuracy of income data or income verification by over 200%. That translated into an uplift in value for these guys and a decrease in risk and an improvement in cost of roughly $60 million. Our technology is patent pending. It is rigorous, it's repeatable, it's consistent, it's persistent in the technical sense of the word. We weight the appropriateness of usefulness and usefulness of data using 14 discrete attributes, and that just simply allows companies to select the best data and repeatedly use it in the same way. So the leverageability of the client is key to us, the leverageability of data is key to us. That's what we do. We apply metrics never used before in the same way to make that raw material of better quality. What's already out there in terms of the competition, we don't have a lot of direct competition today because we're going about an old problem in a little bit of a new way. I don't think that's going to last, but today we are very well positioned to capitalize early. We have a lot of indirect competition, and that simply comes from the existing mindset inside a company where people have data analytics and data systems that they think can already answer these questions. As I told a friend of mine not too long ago today, companies spend a lot of money and a lot of time making suboptimal decisions faster. What we seek to do is improve that. The thing that really helps us when we're talking to people inside companies is we do not replace the existing in-house data quality processes. We demonstrate that we improve the usefulness of data. What that means is that we do not obsolete existing investment in data, people, or systems. That's helpful in a large-scale selling situation. After we do all that, we gain traction. We gain the trust of people inside the companies. This is what the market looks like, and I know this is a little bit of an eye chart for you guys in the back. You read this from the bottom to the top. The data business is the actual acquisition and hygiene of data that goes into the systems, in the middleware, the portals, the decision management tools as it goes up at the top. What you see at the top are the actual applications. Those are where business decisions are actually made and implemented. That's the market. This is where we fit. This is where I think it all comes together. The reason that it makes, in my opinion, the kind of sense that it does is, since we're at the bottom, since we're at the early stage, again, we do not threaten existing investment. We take everything that happens at the bottom level and we improve it as it goes to the top. Okay? Our marketing strategy, we know what to say, we know how to say it, we know to whom to say it. We market directly to C-level people in the companies where we're trying to do business, specifically financial institutions, insurance companies, some science and government. We use a proof of concept using actual customer data to run the analysis. Then we deliver a report that is constrained by the customer's problem using the data that they have identified as needing to be more accurate for their systems, and then we deliver that. We deliver a tailored and specific solution, and that's our proof of concept. So this is not something that we think we can do when we talk to the customer, when we talk to the institution. This is something that we demonstrate using their data, our processes, their data. Our business model is multi-year recurring revenue contracts. The single application pricing model, I think, is something that's important, because if we are going to do business with the large institutions, and that's where we have the biggest bang for the buck, our single application pricing model is fairly simple. We will price per application. We're not going to do one thing for one company and leverage that across all the silos. We will have business applications and contracts for each silo. Mortgage loans, credit card loans, income verification for credit extension, whatever the application may be. We intend to have an asset-light balance sheet, which just simply means we're going to scale assets with contracts. We're not going to have a big fat balance sheet that we have to go fill up with incremental revenue. We're going to acquire assets in people and delivery assets at the time that we sign contracts. We intend to leverage and optimize our clients, their existing assets. And it's a software as a service model. These are bootstrap numbers. We should be able to do much, much better than this with an investment. Simply what we want is money to increase sales. So these are decent numbers. We can do a lot better. The use of proceeds is we want $2 million initially. We expect that to take us to 4 multi-year contracts. We have 4 real people in the pipeline today that are in active stages of negotiation, active stages of proposal. We think the investment is going to take us beyond that very, very quickly. We want to ramp sales, as I mentioned, fund delivery, establish pay salaries, and establish office facilities. Our exit strategy is pretty straightforward. We want to build value first. We want to have a high margin, high function recurring revenue company. We want to be able to align our assets with a channel partner or institutional capital. When we reach critical mass, we think it will be very attractive to either data companies, analytics companies. Over the last 4 years, there have been a variety of very similar transactions to this, so we think there's plenty of opportunity for investors to be able to get a great return. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or Rick McGraw at Black Oak Partners. Thank you.